Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Heartwell Demo stream, the live stream series where I continue to develop this adorable little action RPG with platform mechanics and a branching narrative. If you find these dev streams interesting or helpful, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boop that bell button to stay notified. Now, when we previously left off, chat, we were also hello everyone, hello, welcome. Hello, Anthony the Virus. Hello, Copper Nicholson. Hello, Peter Puzzles, and hello, Lime Violin. Thank you all so much for dropping by. Welcome. So we actually made some pretty major progress during last dev stream because, and I'll show you here just for a second, chat. We actually managed to completely redo the main menu screen. So keep in mind, chat, for this entire rework, our goal is to make everything fit inside this green box here, because that's going to be how small the window will be before it gets enlarged as part of the rework. And as you'll notice, we now have completely new and clean looking save files that are a lot more condensed than the old versions that now fit all in here. Settings, same thing with threads and support. It all fits in here now. So we actually finished the main menu last dev stream in chat. And as a result of that, we finished editing the main menu for the rework. So that means, let's see, today is a happy day. I agree that today is a happy day because, chat, we're moving on from the main menu after many hours of toil and are now moving to the opening cutscene. Yes. So our goal by the end of the next couple of dev streams is going to, turn this opening cutscene into something that actually fits within this green box here. So as a little recap of what this looks like, chat. So currently you'll notice if this were to be put in the rework, it would be kind of, it would be definitely off-center and weird. But the worst part about this is when we get to any kind of decisions, because the decisions will go off frame as a result of everything. So I'm just trying to, so yeah, right here, for example, like the main problem with the way things are currently set up here is just the fact that the decisions are going to be off frame. Like in theory, everything else to work here would be a bit weird, but this is like the big thing. Now, we already have a nice list here of actions to actually make everything work properly with the new rework. So yeah, let's right here. Thanks for even Brussels, appreciate it. So with that being said, that's what we'll be focusing on as we're going to be making the opening cutscene, fit together. So let's go from there. Let's see here. And speaking of things being on the up and up, I also very recently released a new YouTube video essay that tackled a rather touchy subject through the lens of Trails of Cold Steel. So if you've ever, I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to look at it yet, but basically, for those who who were there for my Trails of Cold Steel challenge run, there was a moment of the game that I was just completely wowed by. And it was this moment where the game actually breaks a lot of gameplay design conventions by having you change who the protagonist is for one battle. And it's done in such a poignant way to really cap off a very brilliantly written section that really dove into the idea of overcoming prejudice, overcoming unconscious bias. And so, because of that, I felt like I want to try something different with that video essay. I'd be curious to hear what you all think about it. That challenge was wild. I know, right? But the thing about this video essay is I decided that I want to try something different. I want to really analyze, like, an example of where, like, storytelling was done in such a way and reinforced in such a way that could only be done in video games. And that was, like, of all the different ideas I came up with to talk about for various games, that was the one I felt the most passionate about, because I felt like it was something that wasn't really talked about a lot, at least from what I could tell on the internet. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that video essay and whether I should make more video essays like that, because it was a lot of fun to make, definitely a bit different. I will say it did require a bit less editing than my challenge run essays. Now, I'm still not on my challenge run essays, don't you worry, like, that's still a major part of the channel. But at the same time, it was also really fun to make, and it was also cool to, I guess, hopefully highlight at least a brilliant portion of video game storytelling. Some of the most brilliant I've seen in any video game. But yeah. What else do we have here? Yeah, so first things first. So non-UI backdrop objects such as Cassandra, Dorothy, and the background also need to be moved up into the right. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. First, physically move the text box and new import object to the left until it would be centered within the new frame. This object does not have any code that enters the... Okay. Now the good news about this chat is because we've already added... Well, actually, no, I guess the first frame wouldn't really have this. I didn't calculate what that should be, did I? Well, we're going to figure it out today. Okay. So, I'm going to move this for a second. Also enable... Where's my grid snapping? There it is. Okay. Let's see. That's spots in portrait. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, chat, we're going to take that coordinate in the top left is 159 by 15. It's time to do some mathematics, chat. So you got 159. 18 is Y. The width is 428. I actually think the height will probably be fine, but the location definitely needs to be moved. So 428 pixels wide. Okay, so knowing that, we're going from 800 by 450 to 640 by 360. So it's 800 by 450 to 300. Oh, sorry, to 640 by 360. So let's see here. Let's see here. So do some quick calculations, chat. This thing is 428 pixels wide. Let's see, 159 times 2 is equal to 318 plus 428. 746. Okay. So that leaves us with 54 left over. So 54 divided by 800 is equal to 0.068. So we do 0.068 times 54. Autograph doesn't seem to like that. And multiply it by 640. There we go, 43 point. Okay, so basically 43. So knowing that, we got 640 minus 43 minus 428 is equal to 169. And that divided by 2 is equal to a 4.5. So basically, we need to put, that means the new x coordinate should be 85, since we'll round that up. Now I'm holding the left mouse button to move it incrementally. Trying to move this by hand would probably mess it up. All right. So that's the text box. I mean, even just looking at it visually right now, it seems to look relatively centered, at least the way it was back in the old frame. Well, let's take a look, chat. Let's see, chat. Yep, that seems about right. Okay. So that one is done. Up next, physically move the background to be roughly centered in the screen, as well as any active objects that are stat props. That means physically moving the torches to be in line with the new columns. Okay, so it's all going to depend on... And there's that to change too. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we'll save here because we at least gotten that done. Chat, this is our jam. This is our jam, chat. The music's going on, and we get to move things. Okay. So with the backdrop, chat, you might notice right now that this is roughly centered, like, in the frame. At least vertically like that. We're going to have to move this as close to the center point as we can. So basically, move the backdrop from there to about there. Let's see if I can adjust the grid. Right now we're at 160/90. Yep, honestly, well, you know, I could probably eyeball it, but we're probably better off doing at least some mathematics to figure this out. So our frame is Anthony the Virus asks, is this programming? Right now, me moving UI objects, I mean, I guess it's more so setup. Don't worry, Anthony the Virus. Once we move all like the UI here, we'll be quite deep in the programming side of things. Now, granted, the way programming works in Fusion 2.5, it's all done through menus. So, like, if I wanted to do something on this line, for example, I'd right-click here, you know, got a bunch of menus with all the different options, and then I'd input what I need to. And the menus are different depending on what type of object it is. So, as you see for a text box, it's kind of limited here because text boxes, you can only do so many things with them because they're just meant to, sorry, it's a string object, so it just presents a string, which is, you know, text. But on the other hand, if I have an active objects like Dorothy, for example, there's a lot more things we can do. Animations, visibility, order, alterable values. And I use all these most of these tools to accomplish things. All right. But before we get to that, we need to at least move things around so that we actually can test what we're programming. So, Anthony Virus asks, what are my pronouns? Well, my pronouns would be he/him. So he or him, you know, because I identify as a male. Okay. 269 by 145, 205 by 119. Okay. For some quick calculations. So we have x equals 269 and y is equal to 145 for the top left corner. We know that the backdrop object is 205 by 119. Okay, so knowing that, once again need to check some things. 269 times 2. 743. That leaves us with 57. So 57 divided by 800 times, so it's 40 equal to 45.6, or basically 46. Let's see here. So knowing that, 45.6, next we're going to do some calculation to determine what the new coordinate should be. So we have 640 minus 46 minus 269. All right, no, not minus 269. It would need to be minus 205, since that's the width. All right, and divided by 2 is equal to 89 divided by 2 is equal to 194.5 or 195. Okay, so our new x coordinate is 195. X equals, basically 195. Now we do the same action for the y things. All right. So, let's see here. Anthony the Virus asks, "Do I know code?" That depends on Anthony the Virus. What kind of code are you referring to? So, let's see here. So, because it's like in terms of like programming languages, like I know like a tiny bit of Java. I think I've had to. I'm forgetting the programming language, but the kind of programming language you'd have to use on like a Raspberry Pi, so like a little microcontroller. I could program him a little bit of that. And I think Fusion 2.5, I don't remember what programming language it uses specifically, but like those are like where my main programming fundamentals come from an AP computer science course I took in high school. And that's where I get a lot of the logic. That's where I learned really, that's when programming really started to click with me, like when it really started to make a little bit more sense. Like understanding what an if statement is, what a while loop is, a for loop, those basic programming principles. And understanding those principles makes even programming within an object editor like this, like way, way, way more powerful. Like I use, like especially if statements, statements like that all the time. Like for example, flat 5 is on, that's basically a true false if statement, and then perform action. It's the same, like functionally the same, it's presented in a way that's easier for me to understand, because I'm much more interested in programming visually. And I will remind the chat that this is that this stream is meant to be kept PG-13, and any terms that violate that consistently will be something in that to result in temporary bans. So please keep that in mind, chat. Now, just remember, this is a wholesome stream. Now, as I was saying, yep, Clickteam Fusion is the name of the program. You can even see it up there in the top left corner. This is specifically the developer edition. You might say, Antomicx, what's the difference between the developer edition and the regular edition? I think the only major difference is that the developer edition lets you basically make games with it or other forms of multimedia without having to say, oh, I made with Clickteam Fusion or anything like that. Like with the developer edition, it's just they give you the licensing rights, so you can, whatever you produce with it, you can just say, you can claim it entirely as your own. So let's see here. Where else were we? So with that being said, now we just need to work on the y coordinates. So we'll use the same process that we did before. So y is 145. So 145 times 2 plus 119 is equal to 409. All right. Obviously, that minus 450 would give us 41. So 41 divided by 450 times 360 is equal to 32.8, which is about 33. Then we have 450 minus, let's see here. All right, have a good night, Anthony the Virus. So a lot of, like, the irony is, chat, a lot of programming ends up just being algebra. And that's what all we're doing right here. Like, none of this is like advanced calculus or anything. It's just algebra, but this is how we, you know, affect coordinate systems and such. So 450 minus 33 minus, let's see, 119 is equal to 298 divided by 2 is equal to, okay. Well, that doesn't seem right there. Why would the number get larger? I also made a mistake somewhere. I need to double check the mathematics here, chat. Oh wait, is it because? No, I think it favors being up at a higher elevation on the screen, doesn't it, chat? Oh, I did make a mistake. It's right. It's right here. It's 360 minus 33. $208. That makes more sense. Okay, there we go. $104 equals y, which is equal to 104. So coding, Copper-Nicholson, just refers to essentially programming any sort of software. So the reason it's called code is because you essentially, in most programming, like most programming languages, you open up essentially a dialog box and you type in lines of code, which is essentially telling the computer what to do when running a program. So you might write an if statement, a while loop, and a lot of like these basic concepts are actually something you can find plenty of free documentation for online. Like, I strongly encourage, chat, if you're at all interested in coding, like just Googling some tutorials online or even some YouTube videos. It's a lot of fun. But when I'm using these menus, it's essentially just providing an alternate way to look at coding. So instead of typing out my dialog box, I instead use menus to essentially accomplish the same function. Now, there's no one particular program for coding, Copper-Nicholson. If you're interested in it, you can look it up. There's many programming languages out there. All right. So our new coordinates are 195 by 104. I'll be paying attention to this value here, chat, because that is the coordinate at the top left corner. That's what we were trying to find. 195 by 104. Now, what's interesting about this, chat, is this actually isn't going to be center if we go to 195. Yeah, it'll be off center. Fascinating. We don't want to be roughly center. So that would be around here. needs to be as towards the top as possible because we need a lot of space. I think we'll actually go with there. So our new coordinate is 215 by 97. I thought the new coordinates is 215 by 97. Top left corner. Okay. So, 15 by 97. Alright, now to move everything else back into place. That means offsets for other objects. The X offset is equal to 215 minus 269. That is equal to negative 54. The Y offset is equal to 97 minus 145, which is equal to negative 48. And that's just a simple distance formula, chat. So now with these new coordinates, we can essentially take any coordinate of any object we find here and move them by the associated coordinates. So for example, actually, no, I mean, we could, or we could just, in this case, eyeball where things are, like the door, for example. Like, the door will be pretty easy to eyeball, because it has to fit perfectly in that spot. All right, cool. Now the objects have all been moved. Left corner, all right. Need to zoom in a bit. Go 400%. Okay, 279 by 140. Alright, now we'll actually adjust some programming here, chat. So, line 2, the door object has a set position. Coordinates now are 279 by 140. Done correctly. And Dorothy's in the wrong spot. Alright, looks like I need to adjust some things. be 278, 140. Okay. Okay, so at least in the right position. Obviously, Dorothy and Cassandra needs to be moved. But other than that, I'll get there. Yep, and we're changing that to green to represent that those actions have been done. Next coordinates in the set position at line of code for Dorothy from 433. Okay, so that calculation was done before. Let's do the new calculations. 359 minus 278. If I were in charge of casting Deep Space Nine reboot, what modern characters would I get to play the characters? My short answer is I don't think Deep Space Nine needs a reboot. I think it's, you know, great as is. Alright, next we have 188 minus 140. I really like that autocorrect in Google Documents actually does do some basic calculations. That's very convenient. Alright, so the coordinates of interest here is, you know, adjusting by 8148. Close to what we had before, but not quite. Oh, wait. 186. Oh, no, this is the door coordinates. That's right, that's why I was using those. It should be 352, 138. They don't fit there. They do, but just barely. Okay. Move down slightly so it's a little closer to the center. Alright, time to zoom in a bit. Quite 160. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Dorothy needs to be repositioned now to line 2. $352, $159. Reload that positioning's right. Alright. Positioning looks right. Look at that, chat. Dorothy and Cassandra are where they need to be. At least positioning wise. And it is so helpful that I program this in such a way that positioning is all about being relative to each other. Alright. There's an object I thought did need to be moved up and to the left. Yep. And 110. So what I'm doing here, chat, is I'm adjusting the positioning of the Y coordinates for the dialogue choices that the player can make. Let's see how that turns out. So I'll just need to skip ahead here, so the first decisions. We'll see whether or not it fits in well. Actually, the export, no, it's tied to the size of the frame. Okay, that works. Well, actually, we do still need to check what it's going to be in the, whether or not the final decision will work. So let's see here. Okay, well, the highline still works. That's a relief. Okay, no, selflessness is there. It's still on screen. Now, it's not centered. Where's some? Will this change if Okay, I need a. Okay, I need to check something else. So. Based off of the X and Y coordinates of the frame. So I need to figure out where exactly is this going to end up when we actually change the window size for real. So it always defaults to the top center portion. Let's see here. The formula is y bottom frame minus y top frame, 5 by 2 plus 40 plus 25. Okay, so basically, in our calculations here. So 360 divided by 2 plus. Okay, so the first will be at 245. All right, well, it's 16 tall, so that'll still fit on screen. So the real question is, will 245 be in a good location? What is 245? Okay, 245 is about there, so that's fine. 320. About there. That's also fine. Cool, because that red line right there would be the edge of the screen. All right, so that's all fixed. Nice. Okay. Okay, 40 plus 25 times that. Cool. Soon, objects have been moved. That might be it, honestly. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else here that needs changed. No! That's it. Yeah, I forgot how simple the opening cutscene frame is programming-wise. Chat! We did it! We reprogrammed the opening cutscene frame. Now, granted, it won't look correct until the actual stream resizing is, for the sole reason that the programming here, it's actually dependent on the size of the frame, and right now the frame is still of the old size, not the new size. But excuse me. What we can see, again with our green box here, is that everything works exactly as intended, program-wise. Still, the animations are fine. Dorothy and Cassandra just chatting about things. Like I said, this stuff will all be, it'll automatically be moved to be more centered here once our overall window size has been changed. So we can just bop on through this real quick. We'll do it very, very quickly. And make sure the last one still works. Yep, it's still all line up properly. So let's, all looks good. So we choose that. Good, and the reason why it ends there is because whenever you switch frames, in testing mode for Clickteam Fusion 2.5, it closes the application. Now, if you're doing like a full application run, then you would just go to the next frame. But for there, that makes sense. So that means next chat, we actually get to move on to the central well. So, and it says also any test frame, so I think I'll focus on the central well here since we can always kind of work on the test frame in the back end, so to speak. Yeah, so this is where things will start to get complicated. Because there's a lot we have to go through here. This is going to be the first frame where the reprogramming the manifest is going to come into play, and that's going to be a lot. So chat, I actually think this will be a good spot for us to take our first break, so don't worry guys, I will be right back. Alright, chat, welcome back everyone. Time to pick up where we left off. Okay. So, we are now moving into Bardoff Well, the central well. This is where things get complicated, because we have a lot of lines to go through, particularly pertaining to the manifest, since the manifest is the going to require the most reprogramming. But first, before we get to the manifest, in line 1, change the equation in the set exposition line for the tet spots and portrait objects from x health bar plus 129 to x health bar plus 79, so it is in the center horizontally in the frame. Yeah, okay. Well, that should be easy enough. We'll go to the tet spots objects. So the tet spots object, unlike in the opening cutscene frame, actually does need a coordinate system to guide where it is, because the player could theoretically be anywhere in the level when they are identifying the well, when they're looking at rain lore bits, for example. All right, that's health bar plus 79. Good. All right, I did that. Whoops a daisy. Well, might as well have tested this horse real quick. Well, I mean, we can at least see that the text is centered now, as you can see, chat. Well, roughly centered for our purposes. Looks quite good. Now we're in Bardoff Well. I just realized the Bardoff Well text is definitely going to need to be moved. In fact, the Bardoff Well text is probably going to even need to be changed. I think it might be a little too big to do that. Same with the WAS to watch text. So let me check if I made sure I made a note about that, because I didn't even think about that. Is that in the item and UI display? I think it might be. Okay, well, we have a couple of things there we need to investigate. Okay. I see you like to eat books, Copper Nicholson. Fair enough. To each their. Okay, so basically, that's included in the item collected. Actually, no, the. Okay, I think the manifest is actually probably going to be the. It's going to be this, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Allow me adjustments. So the announcement test. So I'm pretty sure I identified that will need adjustments anyway. Okay. Onward. So, in line 1, change the equation in the set exposition line of just from that to that. Okay. So that's the collection display UI. Alright. Collection display UI is things like collecting keys, collecting items. It's the object that displays information pertaining to that. Ah, this one. Here we are. The X coordinate needs to be 320. And the reason why we're tying it to the health bar is because the health bar is a stacked object on the frame that's always present on the frame, and it makes it so that it doesn't have some weird jostling back and forth whenever the player moves around. Y coordinate is set to 212. $320, $212. Good. Okay. So now we just need an item to pick up. I already collected the key here, so is there any item I can grab right now? Because a lot of stuff is out of reach. Alright, please tell me I didn't grab the key up here. I did grab the key. Actually, if I grab that key, I should be able to open this. Yeah, okay. Well, I need an item, so that's... then we need to test. So where's the... I have testing stuff here somewhere that should fix that. It's not probably way down here. Okay, so it's this line right here. 2348. So that's our little reset button. Let me just activate that. We'll run the frame. Press J. That reset everything. Now we inactivate that. Okay, so now we should have an item that we can pick up here. That being the rust. I think it's the rusty well key. Sorry, the misplaced well key. Okay, good. Chat, that's actually a good thing. It might look weird right now because we're centered in frame for the current frame size, but that's actually where we want it to be displayed. In the actual frame, because Dorothy will be like up around here. So, that's good. Yes, think about how this would be centered. Dorothy would be centered in frame, so she wouldn't be here. She'd probably be staying somewhere around here. Okay. Displaced well key. Okay. Cool. I've ever watched My Hero Academia before. I have not watched it recently. Kind of fell off the series after a while, unfortunately. Okay, so the item in TUI has been fixed. Oh, actually, I'm realizing that I need to repeat everything I do here for multiple frames. So I need some way to mark this since it's going to apply for multiple frames. Status cleared on. Honestly, might be worth our time, chat, to make these edits. Essentially, like when we have light action right here, we do it on each frame that it applies. Central well. Let's see here. Yep. So basically what we just did here on the central wall, we have to do in a couple of other frames. Those frames being the lower well, the depths, and the test frame. The main test frame anyway. Not the backup frames, but like the main test frame. Well, let's just head on over to the test frame then. I don't think the object is in this one. The one for like displaying UI or item selected. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay. Oh, actually, no, the hotspots and portrait object actually should absolutely be in here. Let's see, where is it? I know it has to be here somewhere. We've seen Dorothy talk in this frame. Am I just not seeing it? Do I seriously not have Dorothy talk in this frame? Huh. I guess not. Man, it has been a while since I've used this test frame, hasn't it? Yep, not there. Okay. This one isn't in the test frame. Objects not in. Okay, next up, we've got to check the lower well. And we'll be adding that's position line code. Yep, for those just joining in, welcome. We are in the midst of the stream resizing rework. We're now, we completed reworking the opening cutscene. Now we're in the actual levels themselves, as well as the test frame, trying to edit things like the UI and such to fit in the smaller screen area. Here we go. Okay. That's a Oh dear. I am outside the frame. That's not good. Just as my respawn point. No, there's no way to get a lower bit from out here. But since it worked in the obvious, the other area, it should work here too. As nothing else actually changes its position, it's just whether it's visible or not. That's just animation direction, okay. Yep. Okay, and now to the depths. Nine, 79. Save that. I don't think there's anything else here that could affect that, so just check on through real quick. I know we checked this already, kind of in our previous streams. Yeah, it is used in a lot of places. Yep. Okay, let's do it. Yep. So now we can mark that one as complete. Now for the other ones. Numbers are 320 and 212. Yeah. Oh, no, cancel that, cancel. Only that portion. Okay. There we go. Okay, 320, 212. 320, 212. 320, 212. I'm pretty sure this isn't in the test frame. Yep, okay. So now we can mark those complete. Cool. Let's see here. Butterfly central well. Cool. Alright, and now we begin programming the manifest. This is what's going to take the bulk of the amount of changes, chat. As you notice with all these like notes here, there is a lot to go through. But we'll do it step by step. Okay. First, we need to go to line 394. Yep. Okay. $94, 210 plus 83. Cool. $210, 130. Yeah. 210 becomes 130. $83 becomes 38. All right, let's investigate that. So basically, chat, this should essentially move the manifest into itself center frame. Okay, good. So obviously all the text is not moved over, but the manifest itself actually is center frame. So that's good. So at least we've confirmed that that works correctly. Cool. It's below that. that, so that's also good. Cool. All right. So that's on this frame. Now we need to do it for the other frames. Okay, 130 and 38. One 30, 38. 130, 38. Yep. That should be roughly centered. Good. And 'Where are my stat menu checks? Oh, here we go. It's 15. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, between these different frames, the code for the manifest is in different sections, just due to different amounts of code being needed before and after it. One 30, 38. 38. 38. Let's go to the test frame, do the same thing. There we go. 130 and 38. Line 276. Let's do a quick double check. So 130, 38. Cool. Alright, we can officially mark that one complete. Next up, line 772 through 774. Yeah, we still have a lot of pages to go, but we'll get there. Okay. Line 772 to 774, that's in central will. Okay. This is the right. Oh, right, back. The depths right now. I need to be in central well. And the stat menu. This stat menu, chat, is one of the things I've spent the most time programming in the entire game. Like, first I made an original idea for it that tried to fit everything on one page. Then that got reworked into the current system we have now, and now we're reworking it slightly to, you know, be repositioned in our new frame, in our new window size. That's definitely a process. Okay, so in these lines of code, all the X and Y coordinate offsets need to be changed, as stated here. Right, 428 to 348. $348. Yep, 428 by times 348. $551. That's $471. $100 times 55. 148 times 103. Okay. Oh, it's here too. Oh dear. Yeah, we're going to have to be very careful checking all this stuff, chat. Just looking for those green check marks. Up there. Okay. So chat, you might be asking what are all these numbers you're looking at? So what these numbers are about, chat, is about trying to get what's it called? Trying to get the coordinates. I think this is for the melee and ranged weapon descriptions all set up. And it's all tied to like this offset here. So let's go from there. R28 becomes 348, and 100 becomes 55. Okay, 348. I don't have enough information, Dr. Mickelson. We're getting there. All right, third line. Oh, green check mark. I did. Thankfully, that doesn't need anything in particular, but these will obviously. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. 428 between 348. 521 to 471. 155. And 148 between 103. Okay. So look at this right here. The weapon selection value description. Okay, so in theory, this should work when I go to like the melee and ranged weapons. So, yeah, looking at this. Aha! Hey chat, look at that. I think we got the values right. So, even though, you know, the selection buttons are over here, this is where they'll actually be when the rework's all completed. And you'll notice that the dialogue is changing properly when I move my mouse cursor to different sections here. All right, let's try the range stats. Yep. Cool. All right, so we know that works. Now I just need to do the same thing on 3 other frames. Okay. So now we just need to do... So based off the other one, normal is 331. So that's 63 lower than this, so 709, somewhere around there. Yep. Called it. Times 48, 100 becomes 55. 48, 348, 55. 55. But I'm a bit quiet right now, chat, just because I'm focusing on this, because this is an area where making even one typo can have catastrophic consequences. That's why you sometimes hear me, like, stating the numbers out loud. That's me kind of mentally checking, like, okay, did I adjust it exactly as read? Okay. Three 48, 471, 55, 1 to 3, 348, 55. Good. And that's when we know it's going to be over here in these two. Five. Okay. Eight. 471. 348, 471, 55, 103, 348, 55, 348, 55. Okay. And last section down here. Okay, 348, 471, 55, 103. Three, 48, 471, 55, 103. 348, 471, 55, 103. Okay. Alright, that's the lower well done. Completed. So let's see here. Okay. So next up, we have the depths based off the last one. Alright, 221. So that means this one is probably on like the 993 range, so no, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, so what's this called? This is under display text chats under mouse selection. It's close. 983 to 985. All right, so 428 becomes 348. $100 becomes, it's 5. One. Yep. Alright, so 348, 471, 55, 103. Stuff. $48.55. $48.55. Okay. Five. 103. 348, 471, 55, 103. Okay, 348, 471, 55, 103. Cool. That just leaves the test frame. Okay. You're 48, 55. Alright, looking good. Yep. Three, 48, 55. Oh, this is our jam chat. Four, 8, 55. 48. 48 and 55. Okay. Cool. 348, 471, 55, 103. That's line. One, 5. Oh. $103. Cool. Four eight 471 55 103. Cool. All right, with that, chat. Yeah, I did have a rework idea here, chat, to define these as variables, but I think I'll just leave that be for now. Oh wait, no. Oh, this is a recurring thing, isn't it? Yeah, no, I should make it a thing. Okay. Well, yeah, because I'm noticing like these numbers come up a lot. So by making these recurring values, that would solve a lot of headaches in the long run. All right, well that's where we'll pick up next time, I suppose, chat. Okay. Yeah, we'll just we'll pick up from here next time. So we actually accomplished quite a bit today, chat. We got the opening cutscene reprogrammed, and now we're finally beginning to dive into the now we're finally beginning to dive into reworking the stat menus. Which, as you can see, chat, it's going to be a lengthy process, but it will be worth it. We will get through this together, chat. But until then, I think I'll begin to wrap things up here. So, if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to sit around for a raid. If you're watching on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube, don't change your mind there. Straight away, shows for watching on YouTube. Have an amazing night.